Hi, Neal Nussbaum here. I'm a realtor in the Palm Springs area. Today we're with Mike Kenney from Movement Mortgage. Mike, what are the top mistakes people make when applying for a home mortgage loan?
I think the most important thing that people overlook is the fact that they've got to prepare their documents for review, because you've got to have some documents to verify their income and their assets. They got to have enough money for a down payment, and they've got to be ready to qualify with an underwriter. So a lot of folks think that we're in the days of stated, and we're not in stated anymore. So that's the key component, to put together documents in the beginning in a timely manner.
Mike, what makes Movement Mortgage different than other lenders?
What's unique about Movement Mortgage for all of us that work here is that we've adapted to a system that underwrites everybody before they get into the car. In other words, when the borrower gives their documents over to us for review, the underwriter sees it first, and the underwriter approves it a lot of times within 6 hours from the date that we send it over to them. So that's different. Other companies like to process for 20 days, perhaps 30 days, and then the underwriter gets to see the file. Well, then it's the best guess by the loan officer. It's not an underwriting decision in the first 6 hours. And that's a huge advantage to the borrower and to the real estate agent and to the seller.
Mike, are there any special programs for first-time borrowers?
One of my favorites is called the GSFA, Golden State Financial Assistance Program. That program gives a borrower up to 5% down, which can be forgiven or is forgiven after 3 years. So imagine someone giving you, the federal government or the state, giving you 5% for your down payment or your closing costs. That'll help you with getting more of a house, and that'll help you get in if your money is strapped.
Mike, what's the difference between FHA, VA, and conventional loans?
A VA loan is different from an FHA loan because there's no mortgage insurance, okay? A USDA loan allows you to move in for zero down. I would prefer the VA loan because it's usually the lowest interest rate, along with the fact that it doesn't have the monthly mortgage insurance.
Mike, how much home can a borrower afford?
Your affordability depends upon your down payment and depends upon your income and what you prefer. So everyone is judged on an even playing field. Down payment, income. Those are the two components.
Mike, do you have any tips for second home buyers here in the Palm Springs area?
They have to put down 10%. They can avoid mortgage insurance if they do that, and we want to talk to them about how that's done. So 10% down for a second home gets you the same interest rate as for an owner-occupied. So we see that as a great advantage.
What about loans on lease land here in the Palm Springs area?
The lease land component, it has to be calculated into the overall debt-to-income ratio. So if you have a home at $300,000 and you have a qualifying payment at the $300,000, the lease payment is a lot like a Melrose. So we combine it into the actual housing ratio, and that's how we get our approval.
Mike, what's the difference between loans on condos and single-family homes?
The condominium, we have to take a look at the CC&Rs, which means covenants, codes, and restrictions. We have to make sure that the HOA dues and everything with the HOA is, we would call, up to date and accurate. Other than that, there's really not more that has to be done. We're closing those out here in the desert in 10 to 15 days.
Mike, are there any special low down payment programs?
The low down payment programs, we have the CalHAPA, we have the GSFA, we have the Home Ready, we have the Home Possible, and we have a few others. But those are the four that we concentrate on to get most of our borrowers into home ownership.
Mike, what if a borrower's credit score is not perfect?
Perfect is almost never there, but we're going to work with to achieve an excellent score. If you come in and your score is below standards, we'll take a look at it, and a lot of times we can fix or help you fix your credit score within our branch within 5 to 10 business days so that you can move on up into home ownership.
Mike, what are the most common problems you see from borrowers?
Specific problems have to do with most areas in California is affordability. So what can I afford? What do I make? And what do I have as my down payment? Affordability is always going to be a hurdle that we have to cross together. So I would say that first we have to save up some money. We have to have a stable income. And we will then identify the property that fits your ability to buy. That's how we work over these problems that occur.
Mike, how do you work with people applying for loans?
My personal style for working with customers is to have an open dialogue. Call me anytime. I don't sit in an office all the time. I have assistants that assist me while I'm mobile. I like to meet clients. I don't like just to send them to an app online and say, go do your thing. I would rather meet with you at a local office here in the desert where we can analyze all the programs together. We can evaluate your documents. We can see where you are at so we can give you the best advice and counsel to move forward to get you into homes. I've been at this for many, many years. I've managed here with Movement Mortgage for the last 8 years in the desert, and we have helped thousands of folks to move from where they were into the home of their dreams. I sure would like to help you.
Mike, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
The best way to contact me is to pick up the phone, call me, right? I accept text, I accept email, I accept fax, but I want to hear your voice. I want to make sure that you hear mine and that you know how sincere I am in wanting to be able to be that right person for you when you go to search for a home out here in the desert. So please, give me a call.